all those things, but ain't applied nothing through the week. So really it can't work for you, but you inspire while you're right there. But as soon as you walk out the door, the enemy come and snatch that word that you got. And so today, my hopes and my prayers are that what you receive today, right, that you do not allow it to be snatched away so that you can go forth and make this work for you. So I'm going to tell you where my mind is at. So we have Tips from the Top today, and then we have it next Tuesday. And so I thought it was really important for us as a squad to see the top within each of us. Right? And so it's really easy to look out and to see someone and say, oh my gosh, they're amazing. They're a top earner. They do top earner type things, even with our own leader and all the other guests that we have. And so when we think about the benchmark that has been put in place for us, right? Our leader has put a benchmark in place for us to have 10 people in the top 150. And that's going to require us to see the top within us. So a lot of times we seek other places, we seek other teams to find the top, when in fact, all of the information that we need, right, is wrapped up in this squad. And that's a true statement. And every single person on here, I really want you to walk away and say, when she set that benchmark of 10 people being in the top 150, I have to be able to see the top within me. I have to be able to see the top from within me. And so we do so well at praising and admiring and liking and loving people from being the top over there. But what if we start seeing ourselves as the top right here and start showing up as that every single day? Then we'll be the top. And so I think what's so amazing is, yes, we have a leader who's a top earner. And I think it's so important for us all to be reminded that what she's accomplished is not untouchable for anybody on this Zoom. And that's the reality. She has the same everything that we have, right? Product, compensation plan, she just did it. So today our two guests, we have two guests today. Today our two guests, and I ain't gonna play the guessing game because I don't like the guessing game, so I'm not doing the guessing game. We're not gonna guess. I chose two people who are consistently top enrollers on our squad. Okay, so this week we're gonna have somebody in-house because I want you to know that the people that you are touching arms with, Zooming every single day are the top. I have the pleasure to be on Zoom with people every single day who teach me something. If you've hosted a Zoom or I've come on one of your Zoom, you can taught me something. And so I really need this squad to really start to understand the top that is within us. And when we truly begin to understand the top that is within us, we'll start showing up as that every single day. Right? So these two people, y'all can try to guess. There's two people. Since Rachel has been announcing top enrollers, they've been on the top enrollers list like every single week. So y'all can think, y'all can pull, okay, maybe we'll play the guessing game. But at least I gave y'all, like, I kind of narrowed it down. But these two people, they are diamond and above leaders, and they have been on the top enrollers list consistently since Rachel started doing this, and it's been a few months, okay? Let's see who y'all got. All right, y'all guessed it. It's Brittany and Shanice. So I chose these two ladies because here's the thing. When it comes to becoming top 150 in this business, the key to it, the structure to it begins with the steps to success. It begins with what you do within eSuite, period. It begins with what you're doing in eSuite and then our ability to help someone else do it. So I am going to just welcome them, and let me make sure I get the speaker view and everything. Y'all trying to make things right and everything. And they're going to give us some juice. And the idea of this is for all of us to walk away knowing that they good, but I'm good too. And so I'm going to go into this week. I'm going to go into the rest of this month. And I got some tips from the top from people who I can touch and who I can reach every single day. And I think it's so important for you guys to understand this because you have support from people who are doing exactly what each of us need to do. So if each of us can become the top and go to this new standard, everything is going to rise. And so I want you guys to be encouraged knowing what you have right here in-house. So I'm going to start with Brittany. Brittany, let me find you so I can try to spotlight you. There you go. All right. Hi, Brittany. How are you?
Hey, Keisha, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good.
So listen, first, let's just all take a moment to celebrate Brittany. She has been on this ride for Rachel's been here 7 years, so it's almost been 7 years for her. So she's been very loyal to this team, and she made a big shift in her business and consistently, right? You know, hopefully Brittany don't like get shy and bashful and everything because she, you know, but consistently she has been a top enroller on our squad, and consistently she shows up and she pours into this team, right? Consistently a top enroller in every phase of life and everything. And so, Brittany, I want you to share with those who don't know you just a little bit about you, just briefly share a little bit about you, when you started this business, how you started this business, and just let us know who Brittany is a little bit so we can, you know who we talking.
All right, y'all. So my name is Brittany. I'm the hype man. I'm the team hype man for those of you guys who do not know. Like she said, I've been here basically the majority of Rachel's time in the business. I came in, I want to say like 6 months later. She started, I think, in July of 2013, and I started in February of 2014. So not much longer after, I just saw my friends like having fun, talking about beach houses, going on trips, making money. And at that time I was working 2 jobs, 7 days a week, wanted to go to dental school. And I was like, dog, y'all are not about to be having fun, taking trips, talking about beach houses without me. Like, let me in on whatever fun that y'all having. So I did a little bit of research on the company. I had already been a customer for them because at that time I wasn't ready to start my business, but those were my friends. So I put it like this, like, I didn't care if they were selling sticks. They were my friends, and I was going to support them regardless of whatever they selling. Whether I used the product or not, I was hands down going to be a loyal customer. But I did decide to use the products, and I loved them. And so once it came to a crossroads for me to where I saw that this business could be the opportunity to basically allow me to go to dental school and be able to survive my way through dental school, I went ahead and jumped in. I didn't really realize what I had my hands on for a whole year later when I decided to go to my conference. So hands down, conference events, they're so monumental for your business, so you definitely have to be there. Showing up is half the battle. So it made me realize what I had my hands on and how I could literally change somebody's life by just offering them this opportunity. Whether I was a top income earner or not, it didn't matter. I could offer this to somebody that could be a top income earner. So that was like the shift for me. And so it still took a while for me to get over myself and get out of my way, because it's not hard what we do. We are the hardest part. And so I didn't believe in myself and my abilities and my work ethic to get me to where it is that I wanted to be. So it kind of hindered me for a while. But that's one thing about showing up. You stay around the right people. You create a circle of people who will only allow you to go up. They won't even allow you to even stay where you are or digress. You end up finding the beast within you. And so that's what happened. I stayed close to my fire. I stayed close to my homie. And as I saw her evolve, it gave me the belief and the desire to elevate and evolve myself. And so here I am 6 years later, double diamond, never thought I'd get past Ruby. Like, it was like, it'd be nice, like those income, like diamond and above, like that'd be nice, like, but I never thought that I would get here. And so to be 3 ranks away from the top rank in the company is so crazy. But I can tell you this, that regardless if you join to be a double ambassador, whatever or not, if you stay close to the fire, you will. So that's what I got for y'all.
I love that. I think, and it's even for our new distributors who may be on here, or even some of you who may be seasoned, you may be in this place in your business where you're like, I don't really have that much belief. I don't really see past today and me being able to be successful in this business. And so it's so important to connect and be like in these spaces with someone so that you can borrow their belief until your belief begins to grow. So what do you need to be to borrow someone's belief? But then also it gives you this place where you get to reflect on myself is, why do I think this girl next to me could be successful, but not me? In a sense, that's like saying, I think she's better than me. Right? And so you have to put yourself in a place and say, you know what, not that it's comparison, but it's saying if another human was able to accomplish something, like I'm a human too, like I can accomplish it as well. So I'm going to come back to you because I'm going to get both of your stories. And so I love the contrast between both of your stories. So Shanice, I'm going to find you and I want you to share. I shouldn't mute myself. Shanice, I want you to share how long you've been in the business and all of those things. Just give us a little story about you and your journey and how you got started. And I'm going to try to find you here so I can spotlight you. But go ahead and start talking, Shanice, and let's get it going.
Hey y'all, so those that don't know me, my name is Shanice. I live in Mississippi. I'm from Indiana. I started this business 3.5 years ago as a single mom of 2 kids. I have 3 now. But I started this business as a single mom of 3 kids because I needed more money. I had just had my second son and I did not want to send him to daycare. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go part-time at my full-time job and I'm gonna find something to bring in some extra income. So I had been watching this girl on my page. She was always posting about how the business was helping her pay for her mom's trips or, pay light bills, gas, and, stuff like that. So I was like, I wonder what she doing. And then the next day, I said I was going to message her. The next day, she messaged me on Instagram. And I watched the video like most of y'all did. And I just like hopped right in. So I was a little hesitant because I didn't like talking to people. Like then you couldn't like pay me to do this. I didn't like meeting new people. Like I started a new job. People thought I was just like so quiet because I'm just like, people that know me know I talk a lot, but people that didn't, I was just like kind of a introvert, I guess you could say. But yes, so I joined because, like I said, I needed some extra money to pay for to help me pay my bills, and then so it didn't take off as fast as I thought. So I did have to end up sending my son to daycare. But the thing about it is, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna use this business to help pay for my daycare, and I wanted to move back to Mississippi with my mom. So at the time, I was going for a $10,000 diamond bonus. So I was like, I'm gonna use that to help, with my move to Mississippi and things like that. So I have been here ever since, and I tell people all the time, if I could do it, you could do it, because y'all, I have never even had a job for 3 years. I get so bored or tired of stuff, and I just be like, okay, I'm about to quit. I'm gonna find a new job. But this is the most consistent thing that I've stuck with, besides being a mom. But yeah, so that is, a little bit about me.
Awesome. So I want you guys to tell me, so all of us are on here and we all have like this desire to be like a top enroller. Like if listen, y'all don't make me feel like I'm not the only one. I want to be on the list every week. Okay. So I want you to tell me, I'll start with you, Brittany. Tell me what your day looks like and just what it is that you do to ensure that every single week. So to be a top enroller, I know you at least, right, and my numbers could be off, you at least probably have to sign like 4 customers plus a week consistently. And so for them to have been on every week, it's at least 4 customers plus a week. So what does a day look like for you? And so when you put your mind on it and say, you know what, I'm getting customers, I'm going to continue to be a top enroller, what does the day look like for you? Just tell us what it looks like. What do we need to do? What do we need to implement? What can we do to say, I'm going to start signing more loyal customers and distributors like today?
So you guys already know my answer. My answer is host to post. But I will let you know how my day looks. So the first part of my day is my work. So a lot of and I feel like this is where the area opportunity is. We don't Once we get a team, we do more coaching and mentoring than working our own business. And so I make sure that the first part until 10 a.m. at least, I'm focused on me and my work, my quiet time, my whatever I need to do. And it might even be longer. It might, be to 11. But 10 or 11, that's from the time I wake up, and I wake up at least, I don't get up no later than 6:30. And so from 6:30 until 11, I'm working on my business. Now, I don't not schedule 3-ways. So like if my team hits me up the night before and they need a 3-way at that time, I will schedule in a 3-way. But as far as doing like one-to-ones or working with my team alongside, because I do get sidetracked and I'll start helping them more than focusing on me, I have to have my own workspace. So I that time to me, and then I'll open up for my team. But in my time that I'm doing my work, I'm getting up my host to post, so I'm doing my follow-up, and I tell people that this is how I get my PMF done through my host to post or my MNF. I started with my follow-up. And so I started with my 50 follow-ups. And through my follow-ups is how I get my host to post up. And that's how I talk to my 25 new people. So get your 50 follow-ups up, get your host to post from the 50 follow-ups. And then that's how you talk to your new people. But literally, I get up at least 10 host posts a day. Like that's what I'm shooting for. Sometimes I might send out a whole bunch of messages and I might only get 6 host posts up that particular day, but then the residual work. So the residual work from just being consistent, well, then it might overflow into 20 host to post the next day. So it always balances out, but I always shoot for at least 10 host to post a day. And so that means I message until I get 10 host to post up or the day is done. And so a lot of times we have task-oriented goals instead of goal-oriented goals for the day. And so I have a goal and I work until the goal is done or the day ends. So does that kind of answer the question, Keisha?
Yes, that is good. So you said you don't have task-oriented goal, you have goal, or you have, it's a specific thing you're going to get done. That's good. So tell me this, and some people may be thinking this, how do you not get weary in host to post? And I know sometimes you have those days where it's just like, man, like, ain't nobody hosted a post for me, or whatever those feelings that come with it. And so you're getting up 10 every day. Like, how do you not get weary in just this consistent work of just post to post?
Because I know the results will come through being consistent and staying consistent during the weary time. So there are times where it's dry. Like I said, sometimes I might not get up 10 and I might have sent out a whole bunch of messages and I get up like only 5 or 6 host to post. But I know that through my consistent work that I will get up so if we're saying that we get up 6 or 10 host to post a day and we work 6 days a week, that's 60 host to post. I know that if I just continue to work, whether I get up 10 a day or 15 every 4 days or whatever, I'll get up my 60 host to post, but I just keep going. So just staying in the mindset of people are gateways. So because I know that I'm consistently working, like I'm not out here desperate or thirsty for the results, because I know that I'm working and I know that the results will come because I'm working. The reason we get so desperate is because we haven't been working, and so we're dependent on the people that we talk to right in that moment to close. And so when they don't, we become weary because we know that we haven't done enough work to fall back on and just believe that God is going to put his super on our natural. We didn't give him anything natural to put his super on. And so that's how I stay out of that, is just the consistent work and knowing that the grind won't cheat me. Like I tell you guys, like I know that if I work, I'm going to see the fruits. So
that is so good. And I think everybody possibly has been at that point. Is because you have this thing of, I need the people that I talk to today to be my customers today, and that comes off in your energy, versus if I would have kept doing it, the host to post from 2 weeks ago will probably be the customers of today. And so not getting weary, understand, because we have to give our customers this grace. I ask this question to people all the time: how long did it take you to say yes to your enroller? Like, everybody not like Shanice and say yes right away. Okay. Like, how long did it take you to say yes to the person who enrolled you? Look, Javon said 4 years. And so we have to be able to give that same type of grace to the people that we are talking to. And so that is so good. And so not being focused on what you didn't do today, but knowing that if I keep working, the results will come. And so really we should be eating off of the host to post that we did in August, July and August. But sometimes because we get so weary, we stop doing it in July and August. And here we go to September people. We like, man, they ratchet. They don't even want to order. And I just talked to them one time. And we in our feelings, you know what I mean? Not giving them the opportunity to actually think about it. So that is so, so, so good. Hope y'all got those nuggets. And so one thing I learned from Brittany that really, really helped me out with my host to post is at the beginning of the week, the people, the first set of people who are hosting posts for me are posting about the giveaway. That changed things for me. And so what I mean by that is like my friend You know, my friend Robin is doing $1,000 cash giveaway. I partnered with her. Drop your comment below. And so that really helped a lot with me getting my numbers up. So you're saying in the beginning of the week, maybe the first 10 people that you talk to, maybe not having them post about a product, having them post about the giveaway, because it's going to get the numbers up much faster. Does that make sense? So ask yourself, if I'm struggling with have opportunity with getting the host to post up, let me get 10 people to post about the giveaway, because that there was more likely going to get more names, and then those people post about the product or the opportunity. So that was a tip that Brittany gave me. So again, it's the advice from within, right? I didn't have to go anywhere. Brittany was able to teach that to me. So are you putting yourself in the position to be taught in the space that we're in? So Shanice, I'm gonna ask you this question before we even, and so Brittany, tell me this. You are, for those who don't know, you are single, you don't have any children, you did start the business with a full-time job. And then versus Shanice is a single mom. And so Shanice, my question for you is, and you work a full-time job, right? Okay, you just had a baby not that long ago. So what does it look like for you being able to set these boundaries and getting everything done when you just like, it's just so much to do, right? Is anybody on here just like, man, these 24 hours just ain't doing it? Like, how? Anybody ever felt that way? And so, Shanice, what does it look like for you still to make your business a priority in the midst of everything that's going on in your life?
Ooh, child. Let me just tell y'all, honestly, it's not easy. So one thing I learned this was doing personal development and listening to my uplines and things like that, but reading books and listening to videos. But the earlier you wake up, it seems like the more time you have in a day. So I like to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, you know, I got to show myself some grace sometimes because I'm not always, you know, getting up that early, but I like to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, do my Jesus time, hop on the 6 a.m. power hour in prayer, and then work. So, and then what I'm doing is like in between calls, like when I'm working from home, because at the office I can't have my phone, but like when I'm working from home, like in between calls or, you know, things like that, I'm messaging people, trying to put up a status, something just to make sure I'm working my business throughout the day. And yeah, so it's just like I said, it's not easy, but at the end of the day, what keeps me going and what keeps me keeping my day in line is knowing what I want, like knowing that I don't want to keep working for somebody a 9 to 5, you know, for the rest of my life and things like that. So yeah, that's what my day looks like. And then my kids, they get up. My son is doing e-learning too. So, you know, we get up, we have to log in about the same time. And then my 3-year-old, he wakes up about 7 o'clock. And when he's up when he goes down, he's running around there. I got a 6-month-old. So I have an 8-year-old, 3-year-old, and a 6-month-old. So yeah, it's pretty crazy, but I have to have my Jesus and my coffee, y'all. Like I cannot go a day without it. Like, you know, so that's what it looks like for me.
I think what's important to realize to what she said is her why couldn't be her why not. It's really easy to confront yourself with everything that you have going on, and you convince yourself that because I have all of this going on, it's okay. Right? It's almost like we cuddle ourselves like, well, you know, I do got 3 kids and I got a job. So I understand why I didn't get things done. But I love the way you said you focused on what it is that you want. And sometimes we get so focused on the I don't want to call it a problem, but we get so focused on the frustrations or the things that we don't like instead of focusing on the solution. And so when you think about the things that you want to change or the things that are not the way that you want them to be, what's the solution versus what the problem is, and focus on the solution and not the problem. Studying problems don't make sense, right? Like even in the current climate that we are, they keep studying COVID. Like, no, study the solution for it. What's our solution? And that's what's going to make things different in all aspects of our life. It's like, what's the solution for this? I can focus on being like, after I had this baby, I can focus on the fact that my belly is fat. You know what I mean? Or I can focus on the solution. The solution is use my products, eat better, work out, do all of these things. And so which one is going to bring you the result? The solution. And so I love that, Shanice. And so again, you see these two different lifestyles. But here's the question I want you guys to ask yourself. What is the block of times that you have arranged in your business every single day? That's what they had in common. And so not waking up and running your business by accident. Does that know what I mean? Like, you know what? I guess I'll send a few messages. And sometimes you'll have moments like that, like, I don't know, sitting on the toilet or something. I don't know, right? Where you're like, you know what? I'll send a few messages, but there should be some organized time where you're like, you know what? I'm going to devote this. Like, you can't tell your 9-to-5 job, I'll be there about 10, maybe noonish. I don't know. I'll get there. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, what you think this is? No, your shift starts at 10. You need to be here at 9:50. What are you talking about? And so as a boss, as being your own boss, what are you establishing every day? So when you look at tomorrow, what is your block of time for your business? And it's not true. You have time. So if you do have a block of time for tomorrow, put it in the comments. If you don't, say I don't, but I'm going to have one tonight. What is my block of time? Even if you're doing this full time, no matter what, like, what is your block of time for your business? And then make it non-negotiable. Like, I'm working at this time on me, on my business. Because here's the thing, if we all individually work on our businesses, like legit, we'll be like legit. We'll be like top 10, okay? So that is so good. That is so good. So here's another question that I have for both of you. And I know we've all been in this, we've all had so many different seasons in our business. So has there ever been a time in your business, and you guys just can answer in the order that you want to, a time in your business where there was just a lot of life going on, like a lot of life. And when a lot of life happens, whether it's sickness or finances or deaths in family, all of those things, when there's a lot of life going on, we typically go into this is time for me to retreat and like kind of back off. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times if your mind is not right, the first thing that's going to go is your business. I've seen it happen to people so many times. And so I know that both of you have seen many seasons in your business. Shout out to y'all with y'all blocks of time. Y'all good. You have many seasons in your business. And so tell me how you're able to stay focused on what you want and your business and show up in your business when life just feels chaotic in the background.
Let me go first, Brittany. So, that's a good question. So we all have life going on, like you said, and this is one reason why I'm not trying to sound like, I don't know the word. If I said it wrong, I'm not an English teacher, but I don't want to sound unempathetic. But when you go through things, like go and grow through things, you learn how to handle it. You show people grace, but at the same time, you look at things like, man, if I could do this, anybody could do it. So it was, I had just found out I was pregnant June 2019. I don't know, y'all. Last year, my baby's 6 months, so y'all do the math. But I just found out I was pregnant, right? I was just like in my mood, like, I don't want to keep working this job. I was working at AT&T, making like $600 every 2 weeks. I had went diamond, and I was just like, yeah, I'm about to quit my job. I'm quitting my job. I'm gonna focus on my business. Okay, I quit my job, but I didn't focus on my business like I said I was, like I thought I was. So I lost my house. I almost lost my car. My lights got cut off. I had to move back in with my mom with 2 kids and pregnant. I was engaged at the time, and so we had to live separately, which we probably should have been doing anyway. But we had to live separately, and I claimed to be depressed at that time. And thank God for, my upline, Keisha, when she taught me that you can't have, your joy cannot be, circumstantial or, based off of the things that happen in your life. But I felt like I was depressed. So like she said, when your mind is gone, your business is gone. I was like saying I wanted to, I wanted more, but at the same time, I was just feeling so down. I was just like, I don't feel like showing up today. I don't feel like sending these messages today. Oh, I got bad morning sickness. I'm so sick. I'm just, so sick. I can't do this. Making excuses for myself and things like that. And it showed. And it affected my team. It affected my paycheck and all of this, all of this. So it was just to the point where I was hiding for the repo people. I hide for the repo people. That's the only way I was able to keep my car at the time till they found me, But for real, like, I've been through some things. I remember, like I said, I was engaged to be married. I remember literally getting on the Zoom and my ex-fiance at the time was packing his stuff to leave out. Like, you know, you just got to show up in spite of, and it's like, it's not funny. I don't know how to word things, y'all, and I really don't have a filter. So this is the real Shanice. So, I hope I don't offend anybody. But to me, when people make excuses like they like, oh, I can't, you know, get on Zoom because I was asleep. I mean, I know people oversleep, but like every time. And then it's just like, oh, I can't get on Zoom because I had to work today and I'm tired. They don't have no kids. They got one job, living home with their mom, things like that. Or I can't, you know, do this because my kids running around the house. Like, it's just like you get to a point where nobody can make an excuse because you have been through this, and it's like you can coach people from where you at, you know, or, you know, coach people because of the things that you've been through or where you at. But yeah, I can keep going on and on and on. I mean, check getting garnished. I've been through a lot of things, y'all, but I don't always show it. I just vent to one thing Rachel taught us: vent up, not down. So this is like maybe y'all first time, especially my team, hearing most of the stuff that I just said, because I always vent up, whether that's with God, but Keisha, she always the person I go to. No offense, y'all. My mommy on my team, she on here. No offense, mommy, but you know, I go to Keisha about some stuff I don't even go to my mom about. But you know, just because, you know, she's my GG, my godly girlfriend. So yeah, it's just, yeah, I've been through some things, but you just have to learn to keep going. And every time you go through something, it adds on to your why. Like, I'm gonna share this with y'all. My son was using my mom's laptop for school, and she needed it back because she's working from home now. I didn't even have $400 to buy my son a laptop, so that added, you know, fuel to the fire, like to add it, you know, to my why. So instead of letting things bring you down, you have to use that as stepping stones. Like, y'all seen a picture that the brick, you know, you just keep building up the brick, but you walking over it. You're not letting it stop you, like, you know, keeping you from going forward. You walking over it. So yeah, that's what I had to say. I'm done.
Shanice, you better encourage us today. We proud of you. But I love that what she said is you can use the things that you're going through as something that's going to bring you down, or you're going to use it as something that's going to bring you up. If you use it to bring you down, it's going to keep you down. Right? I know I tell people sometimes you don't want what you're going through today to affect tomorrow. Don't make no sense. And so that was super encouraging. And so I love that. Having that space where you can vent to and get your feelings out through your journaling, through your uplines, through your pastors, your counselors, whatever that may be. Get it out. Give yourself a couple minutes to moan and groan about it. And then after you moan and groan about it, you say, oh, what I'm going to do about it now? Right? My daughter told me her coach told her today, she started crying because it was doing the skill, and her, you know, she told her, crying ain't gonna make it better. Why you crying? This is a 6-year-old. We grown adults. This 6-year-old, she showed us crying ain't gonna make it better. Because if crying was gonna make it better, you cry your way to the Olympics. But it ain't gonna work. You just gotta power through it. And so, like Annie just said, be solution oriented. Shanice, thank you for that. So, Brittany, I guess you could, you know, Shanice took all the time like a preacher, okay? Just playing. So to send you to wrap it up, son. Only playing. I love you so much. So tell me, and because I want them to hear from both of you, because I think this is so important, because I think so many of us have so many waves in our life, and I think it's important for us to know it's okay to keep going when things behind you don't seem right. They're behind you for a reason. So Brittany, you've been in the business like nearly a decade, and so we know that you've seen different phases of life. So what does that look like for you to be able to power through when you feel like you have no power?
You just do it. If I was working a 9 to 5, I would just do it. How many times has your alarm went off in the morning and you thought about, man, how bad do I need this job for real? Like, you might even snooze the alarm like a couple times, but you got up at, like, when it was the time to get up and you knew you didn't have no more snoozes left, you got your butt up out that bed and you got ready to go to work regardless of whatever was going on. And so if I can do that for somebody else, I better be able to do that for me. Like, if I can willingly go do that for somebody else, like, how dare I not do that for me? And so that's me. That's where I come from. But I never saw my mom call off though. Like I never saw my mom give excuses. Like so, and like that is not even a thing for me. Like if you're on the schedule and you're scheduled to work, you just go to work. What I'm calling off for? Not like a life or death emergency. Like what am I calling off for? And then it was even times when I was working and I would call off, but then I wouldn't be doing anything. And I'm like, I could be at work making my money right now. Like, why did I call off? Like, I'm not even doing anything. So it's like, I don't like to be unproductive. And so if I'm not working my business or I'm beating myself up or I don't know, feeling sorry for myself, like that's not, I'm a fun person. Like I want to have fun, I want to be laughing, I want to be joking. My business, me working my business, that's when I find the most joy. So I actually throw myself into my business when life is going because that's when I get to empower myself through empowering others. So, a lot when you feed into people and you're pouring into people, like you're really pouring into yourself too. So when I have to show up and put on a good face for a Zoom or something, that builds my spirits up. Like it builds me up as I'm pouring into other people. So my happiest place and my happiest time is working my business. So that's actually my run to. I don't run away from my business. I run to it. I probably do too much when I'm going through stuff because this is my escape. So I actually use it and see it as my escape, see it as my solution to everything that's going on around me. A lot of times we like to view this as the burden when like the burden is something else, but this is the easy cop out to cop out and use this as the burden instead of actually seeing it for the solution that it is. And 9 times out of 10, everything that you're going through, this is in some way, shape, form, or fashion is the solution to it. So
that is so good. Okay, so I'm going to shift a little bit. So when both of you guys started, so obviously most of us are building our business on social media right now, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I would assume that prior to this business, you guys weren't huge social media people. And so we may have people on the team where this social media thing is just kind of different. It's like, I didn't used to post before I was on here. Like, I really don't know how to take a selfie. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to keep up with my social media, all of those things. And so again, one of those hindrances that keep people from kind of going full force like they can. And so I want you guys to just share some advice of how everybody here who may have an opportunity when it comes to their social media, how going forward, they could be totally committed to their social media and be okay with authentically being them, but being committed to their social media 6 days a week and just growing every day. So what tips do you have with having a greater social media presence and doing it consistently? So who wants to start? Go ahead, Brittany.
okay, I'll go. So first of all, copy the right cat. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Lakeisha, like before I went diamond, like y'all, I used to stalk Keisha's pages. Like I love the way that she articulates things. And like I love the way that she is with her words. So literally, I would watch Keisha's lives and go back and do them. In my own words. Like, I would watch her lives and watch what she talks about and go back and do them in my own words. And so I would find a post or something. Like I find people's posts that I like that kind of speak to me. Now I don't just find anybody's post like just because it's a good post, but it has to speak to me in some way, shape, form, fashion. And I switch it up and make it and use my own words. So that was when I was, like trying to find my space, trying to find my rhythm and growing. And as you consistently do that, you find what works for you. So just doing it is how you find what your niche is. And so now me, I just go live all the time. Like because my personality, like that's just me. So I found my niche. My following, they connect to me and they connect to my personality. They love me. They love to buy from me because they love me. And so that was just something that I had to find though. But I had to be intentional about wanting my social media to look a certain way. So even when it comes to pictures, being intentional about, I know Karen talked about this earlier, having a day to have social media content. So like actually scheduling a day to get cute and take pictures. You know, just a day and have a couple changes of shirts and do some makeup and look cute, a couple changes of pants or something, and go out and take a whole bunch of pictures. Or around your house and take a whole bunch of pictures. Outside on your porch, get a little hangy thing for your phone and just get creative. But you have to consistently do it in order for you to find what works for you. And then once you find what works for you, you can work over time to critique it and perfect it. But yeah.
Okay, I was over here cracking up, y'all, because Keisha said we probably didn't post on social media a lot. I did, but I was ratchet. So, or my family used to talk about me. They call me like, "What are you talking about on Facebook?" I just be so emotional growing up. I be the moon and the stars is just falling. You know, I was like that. I was ratchet, but okay, how I was able to clean up my stuff is like Brittany said, like Brittany said, copying the right cat. Like she said, but I still to the day, if I can't think of anything off the top of my head to post, I go to Keisha page or Rachel page, watch they live, like especially if a new product come out, like I go watch they live and see what they said about it, and I just go to my live and say the exact same thing, you know. So yeah, so yeah, so people that have, well, like she said, copying the right cat, and then you also have to think like as a consumer, if you were the consumer and you were looking on your page, would you want to buy from you? Like, would you want to go to somebody that looks all spammy or that's cussing all up and down their timeline or barely post about their business? No. Like, I don't care how good somebody may be at things I like to get done. I like to get my locks retwisted. I like to get makeup done on special occasions. I like to get my nails done. Okay. If I don't care how good somebody is, if they're rude or they always, you know, I'm not judging anybody for cussing, but I'm just saying at work you can't cuss, so be professional, you know. So if they just doing all this ratchet, unprofessional stuff on their page, then I'm not gonna go to them for my services. I'm like, I can find somebody else. So if you were you, I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. Would you buy from you? Okay, so people that don't that have issues like, you know, posting or being themselves, just do it. Start off going live, and even if you're scared, do it scared. Just talk about anything, literally, or don't talk. Go live and make your coffee. People, yeah, I haven't went live in like 2 weeks because my schedule, but I plan on going live tomorrow on my lunch to make a smoothie because I haven't did it in a long time. You know how many people hop on my live or, you know, watch it, how many views I get just from making. I'm doing the same exact thing every day, but people love that because I'm myself on there. I'm on there singing, whether I sound a mess or not, listening to music, you know, making a smoothie. If I drop it or, you know, overflow everything, I'm laughing about it. I have, you know, Serenity on there. Use your life so people can see it, and make sure you're adding to your friends list every day. If you feel like you don't have enough people to message and things like that, go to the launch pad because you probably didn't. But, you know, add friends every day, go live like Brittany said, and copy the right cat. And then just like that tip, that was a good tip. Like Karen said, just you know, do a content day. So dress up. Yeah, Demond, he go live all the time. I always see he's live on my page. So yeah, dress up or whatever and take some pictures so that way you can post them like next week or the week after, you know, things like that. Especially if you have kids, man. It's so much. That's, I guess they good for something, huh? No, I'm just playing. But like since you have kids, that's good. Like people love seeing babies. Like people, I post Serenity all the time, whether her hair wild or not. Like people love that. So just, yeah, that's how you do it. And if you're uncomfortable, my favorite thing, get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the only way you're ever going to open up. That's the only way you're ever going to, you know, get comfortable. So yeah.
I love it. I listen to y'all. Y'all hear this top stuff y'all getting from within y'all team, but I think it's so important that what makes each of our businesses different is each of us, right? Who will buy from me they may not buy from you and who won't buy from me, especially in this host to post world, right? I've had people who started on a team that I got from a host to post, and I was not able to get a person that was a mutual friend to buy. But when they got on, they did. Because so your personality, your story, what you do is what your timeline needs. So if you find yourself not giving enough you, then that's the block. And so I think it's important to find what value that you can bring. Like everybody has some value to bring, like every single person. And it could be the same thing. I was just laughing at Robin, like her measuring cup. I can't get her measuring cup out my head. She uses measuring cup every single day. Like I know it's just a measuring cup, right? But she uses this measuring cup. And so it's just, you just get to go on and just be you, and it doesn't have to be something over the top. Like you can literally get on and talk about, I don't know, whatever, right? Talk about your edges or talk about whatever, virtual school or any of those things. Or like Shanice said, don't say anything. Prop it up and let them see your fingers making this coffee and get off. And so I think it's important to figure out what are you more uncomfortable with? Are you more uncomfortable with the things in your life you want to change, or live? If live could be the difference between you making some extra like thousands of dollars, would you not go live? Be like, yeah, Annie was on there talking about something. What was you singing? Baby got snacks. It's so funny and corny, but I could not stop watching it. It was like, she was like, baby got snacks, and was like so serious, right? Like singing the whole thing or whatever, and then made a BFF smoothie. You know what I mean? And so really having fun and being you, and know that people are going to accept you, period. Like who you are is like amazing. So be that person. So just a couple more questions and we'll get wrapped up. If you do have a question, go ahead and put in the comments, because I want to make sure you guys hear the things that you want to hear. So this is something I think has been important for me. So both of you guys that I know are extremely, extremely coachable. How has, we talk about leadership a lot, right? We read books on leadership and all of those things and how important it is to be a leader and emerging. But we never really talk about the importance of being willing to be coached, mentored, and to follow. And those three things can make a difference in anybody's career, no matter where you are. We were talking about, y'all ever knew somebody like in high school that can play basketball real good, but they never was on the team? Like that one person at your high school, like, he can play, why was he not on the team? Because can't nobody coach him. Because he can't play in the team. So yeah, he good at open gym, but he can't be on the team. Because can't nobody coach him. So he can take his little good self and go to the community center, and that's as far as you're going to get. So I want you guys to tell me, how has being willing to be openly coached, mentored, and follow been important in your journey? Even as a top enroller, like how has that been important to you? Whoever wants to start.
Me, the spotlight on me. No, oh. I'll go. It's already spotlighted, so I'll go. So I'm a yellow. Anybody a yellow in the comments? Drop me. Okay, I'm a yellow. If y'all really read into it, it says that we like to, we like to help people. We like to, if you give us a game plan, we gonna run the play, basically. So I have to be mentored and coached and things like that. Especially when I first started the business. If I didn't get a text or something for Keisha, I probably didn't even work my business that day. Now that was when I first started, y'all. So I was just like, I wasn't like a self-starter. So, listening to Keisha and just doing the things she told me to do, and I did it. Even if I didn't get results from it right away, I kept doing it because she is triple diamond, and I think she was double diamond then. She's a double diamond, and I'm, a distributor. She obviously knows what she's doing. So I'm not one of those people that if somebody tries to coach me or correct me or give me advice, whatever, I don't feel like, I'm not one of those people that I'll be like, I know, I already know, like, because I didn't know. I'm not ashamed to say that. You have to not feel ashamed. And actually one of the more important things about being a leader is being a follower, being coachable. And the book we read last month actually talks about that too. So you have to be a master at being a leader. You have to be a master at being a student. So don't let your pride get in the way, feel like you don't need help and things like that. Cause I mean, at any level, we gonna need help. Like, you know, so the higher you go up, the bigger your team is gonna get. And like I said, just following behind people that have already been where you're trying to go, like they obviously know what they're doing. So, you know, it's very important to, you know, take that advice, because they're not trying to hurt you. You know, like you know, when you promote more, not a lot of times they promote, or you know, it's building their checks, so they're not doing anything to, you know, steer you in the wrong direction. So there's nothing wrong with getting help, y'all.
Yes. So like Shanice said in the beginning, I more so needed the mentorship and the coaching to actually work. um, because just at the beginning we hadn't switched over to entrepreneurs; we were still employees, so it was instrumental in the beginning to have the mentorship to actually do the work. But over different seasons, you need your mentorship for different things, and so now it's not more so of needing Rachel to be there for me to do the work. Now it's more so I need her help becoming a better leader of a bigger team. So your needs and things evolve and change as you evolve, but you still always need your covering. You always need your leadership, because they can see things, because they're your oversight. They can see things that sometimes you can't see because you're in it. So it's kind of like, how when you're in a relationship and people on the outside looking in, like you Google eye, you blind, love is blind. And the people on the outside looking in, they can kind of see where you blind. Like that's where your leadership, like that's kind of like the relationship with you and your leadership. And so it's been extremely helpful to have the leadership and be willing to submit to it. One thing that I always said, like, Rachel, sometimes her delivery over the years, it was, she had to work on it a little bit. But at the end of the day, I would always say, bro, know how to work the conversation place. You know how to make money. Like, I don't care what she's saying, or how she's saying. At the end of the day, you cannot take away the fact that she know how to make money with this business. So I'm gonna listen to her. I'm going to listen to her at the end of the day. I'm a person that if you can show me fruits, like I'm gung-ho, like I'm sold out, and I'm going to listen to what you say. If it makes sense and it's showing results, like I'm down to listen and follow.
So good. Get out your feelings and get the advice. I think it's so important. Like, anybody on here want to go diamond? Raise your hand. And so you want to ask yourself, what diamond do I have in my pocket? Like what diamond do you have in your pocket? There's a diamond, whether it's diamond or above, who wants to mentor you. And so sometimes, even as and if you're an educator, you can tell me if this is true. The student who asks for more help probably gets the most help from you. I would guess. I'm not an educator, but if you're an educator, tell me if that's true. If there's this student who constantly asks you questions, they coming in and like, hey, can you help me after school? That student probably will get more help than anyone, because that student was willing to speak up and ask the teacher for more help. And so since they had the guts to ask for help, the teacher ain't gonna be like, you better go talk to your counselor. They're gonna show up and ask. And so really putting yourself, am I waiting to learn, or am I going to the places to learn? And so if you have a chart in front of you this month, like you want to go Ruby, like if you sign the September period, you should want to go Ruby. You can get $300 bonus, like go, like $300 on top of what you can earn, right? Anybody can get the AK, anybody, no matter when you sign. And so if that's something you want to accomplish, you have to say, A, I want to do it. I'm going to take ownership with it. But who do I have who can mentor me, who's done it? And it's not to say that someone who can't, right? But you should still have somebody on call who can help you, who's done it. They've done it before. You haven't. Listen. There's so much power in just being willing to listen. And I think as adults and as women, it is something sometimes we have to grow at, with just taking the advice and just doing it. And sometimes obedience, right? Obedience, God calls leaders. So sometimes being obedient doesn't always come with understanding right away. And so like Shanice said, it's a waste of time for your coach, your mentor, your upline to tell you something that's not going to be beneficial to your business. Anybody got time for that, right? And so sometimes you acting in something, so like host to post. When you first come into the business, you like, First of all, why am I posting about somebody winning $1,000? I don't have $1,000 to give nobody. Why am I asking people to post posts to their walls? Like, oh, you got all these questions like, why am I saying this? Why am I saying that, right? Instead of saying, you know what? I'm just going to go with it, right? And then my understanding, because I'm allowing this person to coach me, my understanding is going to come as I do it. And so that's what I've learned about obedience in a lot of things. You don't always understand it right in the beginning. Like, you don't, right? God told Abraham, bring your son up here and kill him. What? Sure, he didn't understand it. He probably don't understand it to this day. Like, why you play like that? You could have told me the whole time you wanted a sheep. Like, why are we playing these kind of games, God? I'm sure, he's still to this day probably like, that was real kind of petty, And so, it doesn't always make sense in the moment. So honor your leadership. I think is so important for me, for everybody. Honor your leadership. Keep them in the loop of what's going on in your business and know who you have in your pocket that's going to help you to get where you want to go. Who? If you a diamond, you should know your diamond leader. If you want to go Ruby, who do I know that's Ruby? Oh, let me know. Okay, she Ruby. Let me see if she can help me. You want to be a 400 box? Who you know to bid a 400 box? Who you know that got their shopping cart? Their shopping spree. Listen, it makes a difference because nothing in this business is a secret. And none of it's a secret. All of it's like, we spilling all the beans. Spilling all the beans. Okay? So, anybody got any questions before I have them wrap this up? Who has a question? Anybody got a question? You can put in the comments. It'll give like 30 seconds for you to drop a question in the comments. But I think this team is so amazing, and there's so much top, like, y'all minds are just so big, from Brittany and Shanice to everybody on this team. And as we get to come on this Tips from the Top and Rachel invites other people to come pour into us, it's always so amazing. But I always in the back of my head is like, oh my gosh, I hear people on this squad speak like this all the time. But our E-suite has to begin to reflect it, so that the platform that all of you guys deserve, that the platform that God needs everybody on this team to be on, we can be on it, because the E-suite has to talk for us. Because y'all be out here giving juice. So let's see what's going on in the comments. So I think I saw Karen. Okay. Karen said, what was the point of no return for you? Y'all, and Karen is our social media guru. Shout out to her. She did the Money Squad link for us. She be giving us tips. I think she worked for Facebook and she ain't telling nobody. I'm just kidding. I'm like, how did you find that out? When did you find it? So what was the point of no return for you? Who wants to answer that?
I will. So I had been in the business it was coming up on my 5th year. It was so crazy because I think we are just by nature used to doing stuff in 4-year spans. When you think about it, school has always been in a 4-year span. And so I had been coming up on my 5th year. It had been year 4. And so I had really been thinking about it. I'm like, well, if I was doing like a college degree, like I would be graduating and going out into the real field. Like, it would be the do or die moment. And I had got fired. So it was after I had got fired and I had claimed that I was going to do my business full time, but I really still wasn't doing it full time. I had ran out of all the money that I had saved up, and it had came to the point to where it was like, you either going to have to do this. Like, if you really are sitting here saying that this is what you want to do, and all of these people have came in over the years and they've reached this rank of diamond that you've been claiming that you going for these last like 3 years, like either you're going to get it together or you're going to quit this business and go get a job. And every time I thought about quitting my business or my business not being in my life, I would get so emotional. I couldn't even picture my life without it. And so it was like, you need to make this work. Because if you don't make this work, you're going to go, because it's not a matter of you can't get a job. You can get a job. Like, you're very skillful. Like, this is not the life that you set out to live for yourself. This is not how you wanted the life to live. And this is not why you started this business, to be broke. So either you're going to work this business or you're going to go get a job so that you can live the life that you want to live. So it was like I had to have a come to Jesus moment with myself and be real with me and decide, like, either you're going to make this your career or you're going to go find one, because this is not the life that you set out to live. So
Good stuff. Good stuff. Anybody else have any other questions? Let's see, did I miss anything? I know we're wrapping up on our
I
time.
got one. Well, I don't have a question, but I want to answer a question. Was sent to me. Was out here too says, as for the uncertainty that comes with this business, any tips on handling the demons that want to see you down, your downfall? I'll try not to be ratchet. Okay, but I just posted on my Facebook the other day. I don't know if y'all heard of the psalmist. His name is Future, and it was a song like really I had to listen to the other day because I was like, this is so real. It's like you got people that surround you. They're going to try their best to down you. You got to keep those squares about your circle. So like Brittany said at the beginning, or like we say all the time, you have to stay close to the fire, and, it's your circle. So you got people that want to see you fail, or you feel like not supporting you, things like that. You have your team here, like get connected to them. And I'm not going to lie and say there's not going to be times you feel discouraged. Like I feel discouraged sometimes. I remember before I went Ruby, I think I had hit Ruby. I was like, girl, after this one, I'm quitting. I was telling myself that. I didn't tell Keisha ever, but I was like, I'm quitting after this month. But I didn't, so I just kept going. You're gonna feel discouraged, but that's why spiritual development and personal development is so important. And then what's your why? Like, why did you join? And when you first join, sometimes your why is like, weak, basically. It's like, I just joined because I wanted some extra money. That's what Brittany was talking about on Newbie Circle Saturday. I wanted some extra money. Why do you need this extra money? What is this extra money help you gonna do? I just told y'all everything I went through, and not being able to buy the laptop, and then have to depend on people to watch my kids because I don't want to put them in daycare, but I got to go back to report to the office. Like it's all this stuff. Like I said, when life happens, add that to your why. Add that as fuel to your fire instead of being depressed about it. Like you can take 5 minutes or even a day and be sad about it and cry. But at the end of the day, your circumstances are not going to change unless you change it. So it's just like, do you care enough about you or your situation to actually get out and change it? Like I could keep going on and on, but it's 9 o'clock, so I'm gonna be quiet. But y'all, it's you. It's your mindset. It's you. Like you have to care enough about you and not worry about what anybody else says, because they're not the ones paying your bills, running your auto shipment, about to help you with this extra income, anything. So you just can't worry about it.
So awesome. Listen, thank you so much, Brittany and Shanice. You guys are tips from the top, and we just celebrate you guys for being so consistent with being top enrollers. And I just want everybody on here to know that all of us within us are the top, and that's what I wanted us to really learn as a squad, right? I want us to really begin to seek in-house the topness that we have, and that is all embedded in all of us. But that's how we have to show up every day so that our E-suite can reflect the top. Okay, so I'm gonna pray us out. There is a power hour that starts immediately after this, so if you can, stay on and work for a little bit. So God, we thank you for being here. We thank you for showing up. We thank you for having a space where we can be vulnerable and lay it all out so that we can learn and that we can truly build, God. We ask that you just help each of us to recognize what is inside of us, that each of us has the ability, that each of us has the skill, that each of us has a why that's worth saying, I am top 150. So as we all walk away from this meeting today, may each of us just decide that today we refuse not to show up as our best self every single day. So today, the Money Squad, we have made the commitment to show up individually as our best self. So unified, we will just continue to be better than ever. So we love you and we praise you in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, guys, have a good night. We will have an outside guest next week. So make sure you're on time and show up, and let's get it. So